welcome back to the rest of the story. In the 76 with my trusty sidekick Calvin, and we're doing one of those simple jobs throughout the day that's turning into kind of like a, well, right now it's only a weekly thing where we're shifting bales around. We're taking them out to Ryan's place, and if you can't tell, these are bales that were made by the Crone this summer. Well, big giveaway is the fact they're not quite as wide as our deer, which is probably part of the reason why we're not able to go quite as long without having to move bales out to Ryan's. Yes, now that I've had this bale carrier, it's a lot easier to do. When we've done it in the past with one bale at a time, or back when we had the 7400 hauling two bales at a time with one on the loader and one on the back of the tractor, this makes it so much simpler because we can shuffle bales between the three farms where we need them, when we need them, and however many we need, because it doesn't take too much to put 2 bales of fodder and 4 or 5 bales of hay on. As far as the hay situation goes, come on! I'm about to get in a fight here. Come on, let's go! The problem we have, and I'm not going to switch the camera over so you can see it. Come on! Get over here. Rocket likes to ride in the tractors all the time. And what you guys didn't see is he just chased me out the driveway. Well, Rocket is the family dog. As in, yeah, he's everybody's dog, but for the most part, he's largely Ryan's dog. Don't get me wrong, I take him with me everywhere too. But he sleeps at Ryan's place. Ryan takes him everywhere he goes. I used to, but Ryan kind of took over that job. I got Calvin, and Calvin he's largely my bud. He spends a lot of the time chasing me around, or at least laying around waiting for me. He's very good at that, sitting out in front of the house waiting for me to come back out. What was I saying here? Well, I guess you guys can plan on not hearing much from me for a little while. The first of the year, I'm probably not going to post for a week or two. We'll have to wait and see. You guys can look forward to the first video I post next year. You guys will hear about that sometime. We're going to have to throttle down here for the next 8 to 12 weeks, just for the simple fact of I don't want to scare anybody away from the channel from the fact that it's just going to be a lot of the same thing. We're taking care of cattle right now. We are doing some machinery maintenance. That's what Dad and Ryan are working on right now. They're working on Ryan's truck, and one of the bigger jobs to do on that truck, I guess. And I'm just staying busy doing some of this other odd jobs that are required to be done around the farm. Now we are, well, for this time of year, normally I would like to start looking into crop inputs for next year as to what we're going to have for acres wise. The only problem with that is currently they really don't have anything concrete for prices just yet. Well, if anybody's not aware of this, we did not put any anhydrous down this fall. We just, not that we didn't want to, just the way the cards that were dealt to us this fall, we didn't get any anhydrous on, and it's looking like we're not going to be putting any on next spring for the simple fact that it priced itself out of being affordable to justify it. What it's looking like is going to happen, at least for myself, I can't speak for Dan and Ryan, I will be side dressing my nitrogen in season, and I'm going to wait until right before tassel, like I did this past year on some of my ground that didn't get anhydrous on it anyway, and I'm going to top dress with urea if we can time it right with the weather. I don't know if we're going to have non-stop rain this summer too or what, but ideally if we're going to spread urea or broadcast it, hitting it right before a rain shower so everything gets down into the roots would be most beneficial. Well, a lot of it is a timing thing, a lot of it is a Mother Nature thing. A lot of guys are saying they're going to go to soybeans. We're going to try to push more towards soybeans because of prices. Everybody thought it was going to go the other way. Everybody was going to plant a lot of corn. The problem is, with the current prices on inputs of corn, a lot of those guys that said that they're going to go to soybeans are doing it because they can still pencil out profit better on soybeans right now than putting all the money into the corn and hoping for a good corn crop. So nothing's in concrete until the planters roll. Myself, I'm going to have more corn than beans next year. I'm not a fan of beans, but I am going to be marketing a lot of my crops starting probably March, April, June. Last year, which is really uncommon for us anyway, the best beans I had last year price-wise I sold February 12th. That sounds right. I sold them in February anyway, and that was at the top of my pricing. I don't try to chase market highs for the simple fact that if you're holding out on everything to hit the top of the market, you're going to lose pretty much every year you try to do that. Myself, I like to sell a percentage of my overall yield, or my projected yield. Gradually sell 5 to 10% over a certain time frame, and just try to go for a happy average. And the last year I did that, I did really well. I'm gonna continue with that also going forward. We are gonna have to seed down a bunch of hay next year. That's part of the reason why we're shifting hay out to Ryan's place. Oh, yes and no. We hauled a bunch of hay over to the main farm because we had the storage. It's worth the extra transport costs we have, but it's not very much. To go ahead and haul everything to our storage facilities rather than leave it sit outside just for the quality of hay that you end up with. Because if you would have let this stuff, for instance, sit outside from June until now, that's 6 months, with all the rain we had and the weather we had, the top 6 inches or so of these bales would be rotten, not including everything that more than likely would have spoiled just from sitting out in the ground. So yeah, I think the new seeding that failed is partly on my fault because we cut it the first was it the 1st of June, and I'm thinking that I shouldn't have cut it so short. I tried to leave it a little bit longer, and then it got dry, and I think I ended up killing out the new seeding. At least that's my assessment on it. we haven't really talked about what's going to go into what next year as far as seeding down how many more acres to make up with what didn't go this year. All that new seeding that from this year, so it's still 2018, I'm going into next year is going to be corn, and then it's just trying to figure out the rotation and everything. We do contour to try to limit the amount of soil erosion we have, as opposed to putting the whole farm to corn or all the soybeans. It would be nice, I mean, I'm not going to argue that. I mean, it would be nice if we had a whole farm that was just solid corn on everything, but we have to have rotation too, because we do have cattle. So, well, that's enough for this, guys. I got to pull the pin and head back to the farm. I would have liked to haul some manure, but something that doesn't happen very often this time of year. I mean, we're right at Christmas. It's muddy out. The last 3 days when I was planning on hauling a couple loads of manure out, at least pushing the lot up, it was muddy enough that I got stuck with the skid steer out here twice, just feeding bales. The weather quite hasn't straightened itself out yet. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch.